weirdo guy, Dennis Prager, had another strange statement. Now, we haven't covered him on this show, I don't think, ever. So this will be y'all's first engagement with him on my platform, and I apologize for that. Because we're going to look at this clip. Number one, it's just really boring. If you watch him, I don't know who on earth is tuning in and listening to this guy talk for however long his show is. But besides that, he has a strange statement on female teachers.
So I now have for you another female teacher. They dominate academia increasingly, and it is part of the reason for its deterioration. I know it sounds misogynist, but only to an idiot.
So let's just break down so far. We have to pause every once in a while, or again, you will fall asleep listening to him talk by himself. So they're about to cut to another clip of a female educator. There's a lot of female educators, he says, and that's why education's deteriorating. Then he thinks, that sounds misogynistic, but only to an idiot. You're the one who said it sounds misogynistic.
Come on.
And you were correct the first time. It's misogynistic. How on earth is more female educators being in the demographic of teachers, I guess, causing the downfall of education? I don't know.
Am I claiming all women are awful teachers? Of course not.
But most. No, kidding.
But if 95% of the librarians, for example, or 85% of the kindergarten teachers are female, and the libraries are increasingly featuring trans story hours.
Trans story hour? Never heard that one.
Wow.
Then, what is it? What's the term for the story hour? Not trans. Drag queen. That's right, drag queen. A lot of terms that you have to master here. Then
so slow and sleepy. So
I'm about to start snoring over here.
yeah, I've never listened to hate be so boring. If you're going to go on a rant about teachers indoctrinating our kids with the drag queen story hours, can you at least have your terms prepared? Like, does he not prepare for his show? Is he just sitting there spitballing?
Just
Look down
freeballing
your notes,
everything.
bro. What the heck's happening?
it is not foolish, let alone misogynistic. The CEO of PragerU is a female. I mean,
I have female friends.
what the left does is they throw names out instead of arguing. They've been doing this since Stalin called Trotsky a fascist. You oppose me, you're a fascist. I don't have to deal with your arguments that I'm creating a totalitarian state.
So, the way that I want to respond to this clip is that I just... Holy smokes.
Wow.
Okay, so you know what's so strange about that clip? And then we're going to dive into how he has kind of a history with some strange thinking on women. He doesn't even, in the minute and a half or whatever that was, he starts the clip by saying, I'm about to show you a clip of a female educator, and then spends another minute and 25 seconds justifying why what he's saying is not misogynistic, arguing with a liberal who's calling him misogynistic who's not in the room. It was just a really strange dynamic. He's like, you know, these female educators are deteriorating our education system, and that sounds misogynistic, but it's not. You're an idiot if you think that, because you guys are always calling me misogynistic, and it's not fair for you to call me that, because I'm really not. I literally know like 3 different women who will hang out with me once a year because they're my relatives. It's so unfair of you. All right, now let's get to that clip. Great stuff going on his show. So I don't know what the argument was there, except for I don't like being called misogynistic, and something drag queen story hour, female educators are hurting education. Okay, well, if you remember, this is the same guy on his website, DennisPrager.com, in one of his little columns, who wrote, It is an axiom of contemporary marital life that if a wife is not in the mood, she need not have sex with her husband. Here are some arguments why a woman who loves her husband might want to rethink this axiom. And then he writes a whole column about how it's women's responsibility, even if they're not wanting to have sex with their husbands.
Wow.
And it's so much it's so much of a self-report. Because the whole time he's like, and then she'll say this, and then she'll say this. Oh, but I don't want to, but you should. And you're like, dude, work things out with your wife. I don't know. You got
Go to therapy.
issues, man. Because I feel like this is the biggest problem facing America, that no sex is happening, I guess. And there's an obligation of women to have sex with men whenever the man wants it. Which is so strange. And it just shows you that that's probably why he is so used to being called a misogynist. But can you imagine tuning in every day? What does Dennis Prager have to say? And then he talks about what was the thing called?
Wait, are you talking right now?
At the school. What was the drag queen story hour? That's right. I'm not a misogynist because
I have female friends. I have a black friend.
exactly. It's brutal.